TS. I've seen your videos where you explained about how promotions and stuff work in the Sea Org, and here are my questions. Are you aware of any U.S. military veterans that have served in the Sea Org? If so, do you recall ever hearing their thoughts or opinions on the Sea Org's paramilitary aspect? Are you aware of any online resources for studying the uniforms, ribbons, medals, badges, etc. of the Sea Org? I'm interested in comparing/contrasting to the actual military and other paramilitary groups. How much formal training was there for Sea Org members in regards to the naval traditions? Did anyone teach recruits how to salute, how to iron a uniform, how to march, etc., or was it all more informal and absorbed through social osmosis? Did anyone actually care about those things being done right by people who'd been in for a while? Isn't it convenient that the uniforms of the Galactic Confederacy just happen to look so much like U.S. Navy uniforms instead of French, Russian, or Spanish Navy uniforms? Okay, so I'm going to first send you to, I think it's a little critical clip I posted on my Critical Clips channel called Ranks in the Sea Org. It gives the graphic of all of the ranks and ratings, so you can go check that out. I'm throwing it on the screen here right now so you can also see it here if this will suffice for you, but I did a bit more of a breakdown in that video. Okay, did I ever talk to people who were vets who were also in the Sea Org? Yes, a couple times I did. They never really made any direct comparisons to life in the Sea Org except to say that it was rougher and tougher than the military ever was, which I found fascinating. I did not expect that at all. I had gone into the Sea Org thinking that the U.S. military was a rough, tough outfit and that things were very tight and crisp and that sort of thing, and I was dead wrong apparently, according to the veterans who told me about their experience in the Marines. There was all kinds of slack time and people goofing off and all kinds of stuff that we never got away with in the Sea Org. The Sea Org is a 24/7 crisp, snap and pop organization. There is no slack off time. It's not just an 8-hour-a-day job. And while I understand in the military you're on duty or potentially being called into duty 24/7, it's really more like a 9-to-5 job for many people on the bases at least. That's what I've heard. Don't shoot me if I'm wrong. Just, correct me. I'm happy to get more information. That's just what I've heard. And when I was in the Sea Org, that's what they told me, is they were like, yeah, this ain't like that at all. So I don't know. As far as formal training, yes, there's a thing called the Estates Project Force. I've also done, I think, a clip on that, a critical clip on what is the Estates Project Force. Otherwise, you can Google that, Estates Project Force, and you'll learn all about Sea Org's boot camp. And yes, that's where you learn to salute and march, and they do close order drilling, and we did a whole lot of that. I think I did more of that in the RPF, actually, than anywhere else. But there is an honor guard. There are people who get really into all that traditional kind of stuff. But at the same time, most of the maritime tradition is lost on people, who are on land. If they're not on the free ones, on the actual ship that's sailing around, most Sea Org members wouldn't know, a mainmast from a mizzenmast from the, anyway, I don't even know the terms. So they just wouldn't know this stuff, right? I don't. I make no claim of special knowledge about anything connected with the Navy or the ocean or the sea as a result of my Sea Org time. I have a little bit of familiarity with some of the words connected with boats, and that's about it. I wouldn't know my way around a ship if you pointed a gun at me. So there isn't really a whole lot of that. There's just some emphasis on the words of it and on the etiquette of being on the ocean and how there's manners and stuff. Like, for example, one of the rules in the Sea Org is if you're carrying stuff and you're walking down a corridor, and even if a senior officer is walking towards you, he's the one who gets out of the way. You're the one with the burden. And if your man with the burden has the right of way. That kind of thing you would sort of see through in the culture of the Sea Org, and it is written in the rules. So there are etiquette rules for the Sea Org based on naval tradition that Hubbard wrote, at least, and that's about as close as the Sea Org gets to that kind of thing.